Hopefully you can hear me. I did get a new mic. Yeah, definitely let me know if there's any audio issues today. Otherwise, we'll just go ahead and jump into the Kaplan practice material, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and find the math practice test, and we'll work out of here. Yeah, definitely. If there's any specific concepts that you want to work out of, some concepts that you've been struggling with, just let me know. We can definitely focus in on anything that you need. Definitely, the more feedback that you give me, the better I can focus our practice here. Otherwise, we'll just go through the entirety of the test together. All right. Yeah, so here are the basic equations that show up in the GED, right? Yeah, the formatting is even exactly the same. Yeah, areas of squares, rectangles, parallelograms, triangles, trapezoids. Hopefully you know all these. Definitely, if you ever space out, feel free to use the formula sheet available in the digital test. We also have surface area, perimeter, slope of a line, slope and intercept form. These things very, very important. The quadratic formula. All right, let's keep track of my answers here. And we'll do 10 at a time. All right. Mike borrowed $400 from his brother for 6 months. He agreed to pay simple interest at an annual rate of 5%. And actually, let me check my sound settings on Zoom. Oh, it looks good. He agreed to pay simple interest with an annual rate of 5%, including interest and principal. How much will Mike have paid his brother at the end of the 6 months? Okay. He's borrowing the money for 6 months at 5% annual. Let me grab the pen tool. So 5% of 400, there's a couple different ways that you can do this, right? So definitely you could do 400 times 5 over 100. That's probably the easiest way. 400 divided by 100 is going to be 4. 4 times 5 is equal to 20. So at a 5% annual interest rate, there'll be a $20 interest per year, but he paid it off in 6 months, so that would be half a year. So my assumption here would be that the interest is exactly $10. And now that I'm looking at the answer choices, right, this seems very, very obvious. If you borrow $400 with a bit of interest, right, you should expect to pay a little bit more than $400. Obviously, A and B are incorrect. 5% interest for 6 months is not going to end up being $500. I think we can be very, very confident that C is the correct answer here. Yeah, again, even if you don't know how to solve a problem, don't give up, right? A lot of these questions you can solve by just using basic common sense. Question 2. What is the value of the expression 3 times 2x minus y plus 3 plus x squared when x is 4 and y is 5? Okay, simple enough. Let's go ahead and plug in the numbers. So we have 3 times 2 times 4 minus 5 plus 3 plus 4 squared, right? Yeah, so here, wherever I see an x, I'm going to replace that with a 4. Wherever I see a y, I'm going to replace that with a 5 and then do the calculation, right? Pretty straightforward. So here, let's start with this part. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. Yeah, definitely if I'm going too fast, just let me know. And then over here, 3 plus 4 is definitely 7. Okay. 3 times 3, that's 9. 7 squared, that's 49. 9 plus 49, that's going to be 58 for B. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Just basic arithmetic. Follow the instructions, plug in the numbers, do the math. Hopefully arithmetic is not an issue. Question 3. Which of the following is equal to the expression below? I'm fairly confident immediately that it's going to be D. Why do I think that? Well, it's definitely not A or B. Because if you FOIL two factors like this, you're going to end up with at least 3 terms. I mean, unless the middle terms cancel. The middle terms definitely don't cancel here. And then definitely the middle term here should end up as -8. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we're going to FOIL. Again, FOIL stands for front, outside, inside, last. And so when you have, when you're multiplying two factors like this with 2 terms each, you can follow this rule. Front, outside, inside, last, or FOIL. Hopefully you've learned this in school. 3x times 5x. 3 times 5 is 15. X times x is x squared. Let's do the outside. So this time we're going to multiply 3x and -6y. 3 times -6, that's -18. X times y is simply that, xy. Now let's do the inside. 2 times 5 is +10. X times y is xy. And now we just have the last. 2 times -6 is -12. 2 times -6 is -12, right? Y times y, that's y squared. And then here you have to recognize these two middle terms are like terms. So we did the FOIL, the outside, we got 15x squared, the inside, -18xy, or outside, inside, we got 10xy. And last, we got -12y squared. And here, hopefully you know this, you can't add x squareds to y squareds, you can't add xy's to x squareds, but definitely you can add xy's to xy's, right? And here, -18xy plus 10xy is definitely -8xy. The 15x squared stays the same, the -12y squared stays the same, giving us exactly answer choice D, right? Not bad. Okay, we have question 4. Starts here. John needs to replace the boards on a 22-foot section of his fence. He plans to place the boards as shown below. If the boards are 5.5 inches wide, how many boards should he buy to cover the distance? 22 feet. Okay. A couple different steps here. So 22 feet, let's go ahead and convert that to inches. We can do that by multiplying by 12, right? Because each foot has 12 inches. So let's do 22 times 12. Hopefully this isn't an issue. Definitely, yeah, again, if anything I do, like you struggle with any of this stuff, just let me know. We can focus in on it. You definitely, for math, you want to take concepts one step at a time, right? Yeah, so 22 times 12, I'm going to start by doing 22 times 2. 22 times 2, that's 44. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4 again. And then I'm going to multiply 22 times 10, so I add the 0 here. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2 again. So 22 times 12 is going to be 264 inches. Okay? And we're going to divide this by 5.5. How can we do that? There's a couple different ways. I think the easiest way is to recognize this personally. So here we have 264 divided by 5.5. Hopefully you'll agree here that this is equal to 528 divided by 10. 11, excuse me, 11. Why is that? So definitely you can divide by decimals or fractions if you want to, but I would much rather not do that. And here, what I can do is I can multiply the top and the bottom by 2. I don't know if you're familiar with this technique, but this is definitely something that you can do. And here, like, immediately, I can just kind of get a sense that C is the correct answer. I'm looking for 528 divided by 11. Let's go ahead and do that. 528 divided by 11. So how many times does 11 go into 52? Well, that's going to be 4. How do I know that? Well, 5 times 11 is 55. That's too much. So it's going to be 4 for 44. Do the subtraction here. That's 8. Drop the 8. How many times does 11 go into 88? Well, exactly 8 times. Yeah, not bad. So you need to convert 22 feet into inches. And then you need to divide 264 inches by 5.5 inches. A variety of ways to do that, but definitely I think the easiest way is to convert this problem into 528 divided by 11. Also, like, again, just if you struggle with the arithmetic, right, don't be afraid to use common sense, right? It's a 22-foot long fence. That's a pretty long fence. It's going to take like a lot of pieces. Definitely more than 4, definitely more than 12. But 121 pieces, that's a lot. That's kind of a lot. So even if you can get it down to C versus D, that's not so bad, right? But hopefully you can kind of like get a sense that D is the appropriate answer. 5.5 inches, 5.5 inches is probably like something like that. That's like a pretty normal fence picket. How many fence pickets do we need for a 22-foot long fence? 48 sounds very, very reasonable, and definitely the math lines up. What is the value of this expression? Do you think you can do this one? Can you do this? I'd be very interested to see how you do here for this problem. Hopefully you can see it. Are you there? Am I talking to myself? Nice. Good. Okay. Yeah, definitely. This is the hardest question out of the no calculator section, so yeah, it's okay if you're struggling a little bit, right? Let's break it down. So we have negative 3 times 5 squared plus 2 times, in parentheses, 4 minus 18, close parentheses, plus 3 to the third power. Okay, so hopefully you're familiar with PEMDAS, right? So we definitely start with parentheses, so let's go ahead and do that. What is 4 minus 18? Can you do that? Can you do 4 minus 18? Nice, negative 14. Good. And then now we want to do the exponents. What is 3 cubed? What is 3 times 3 times 3? Very nice, 27. How about 5 squared? 25. Okay. So we did the parentheses, we did the exponents, now we can do the multiplication, right? What is negative 3 times 25? And then how about 2 times negative 14? Yeah, negative 75, very good. Very nice. And now we just need to do the addition and subtraction, right? I would definitely do these first. Yeah, so negative 28 plus 27, that's negative 1. Negative 75, so this equals negative 76. Very nice. All right, yeah, so you definitely you've heard all this stuff in school, hopefully. Yeah, PEMDAS, parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Yeah, you just have to do it in that order. Don't mess up. Very, very important in math. Don't mess up. Easier said than done, for sure. Kind of. Not really. Left to right, no. No. Left to right, sometimes. It's not really. Left to right's not really a thing. Okay. And that's it for the no calculator section. And now you got a calculator, thank God, right? Okay. What's this? Question 6. Storage shelf has room for only 2 containers on the bottom shelf. The heaviest boxes should be placed on the bottom. Which 2 boxes should be placed on the bottom shelf? I'm going to assume that this is not a trick question. A and D, right? I mean, they're the heaviest ones. Yeah, 197 and 199. Interesting question. Interesting question. Yeah, hopefully everyone can handle this one. Pick the bigger numbers. Question 7. Brad's average golf score after 6 rounds was 81. For the first 5 rounds, his scores were 78, 86, 82, 81, and 82. What was his score on the 6th round? Well, we can use the calculator here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to add up his score. for the first 5 rounds. And then here, the other thing that you want to realize is that if his average golf score after 6 rounds was 81, that means his total score was 81 times 6 for 486. Hopefully that's not too complicated. Definitely this is something that you want to know, and definitely something that you need to know for this question. If your average is 81 and you had 6 scores, well, then your total score is definitely 81 times 6. There's just no way around that. So now we know his total score. We also know the total score for his first 5 games. So here all we need to do is 486 minus 409. And that has to be his 6th game. How do you guys feel about that? Does that make sense? Well, like definitely, like hopefully I can make it like even more clear, right? So here's his 5 games, right? Well, if his 6th game is 77, you divide that by 6. Average is 81. That's exactly what we're looking for. Definitely, yeah. Hopefully, if I do it like this, like you can definitely tell 77 is correct. This is a very easy technique to solve for the final score. Yeah, so definitely you can multiply 81 by 6 to find his total score. You can add up his first 5 scores to get the total for the first 5, and then I subtract the 6 games total minus the 5 game total. Well, then he must have scored 77 on his 6th game. Really no way around that. Question 8. A kayaker spends 2 hours paddling up a stream from point A to point B, quickly turns her kayak around, and immediately heads back downstream. If it only takes her only 1 hour, it takes her only 1 hour to float back down the stream from point B to point A. If point A and B are 6 miles apart, what was the kayaker's average rate of speed in miles per hour? Okay, hopefully you understand what they're saying, right? So we have point A, point B. This is 6 miles. So kayaker goes this way. It takes 2 hours. They go back. That only takes an hour. So that's 3 hours total, right? And they went 12 miles. Right, yeah, 6 miles up and then 6 miles down. That's definitely 12 miles total. So if you go 12 miles in 3 hours, what's your average speed? Well, 12 divided by 3 is definitely 4 miles per hour. Let's read it one more time. A kayaker spends 2 hours paddling up a stream from point A to point B, quickly turns her kayak around, and immediately heads back downstream. It only takes her 1 hour to float back down the stream from point B to point A. If point A and B are 6 miles apart, what was the kayaker's average rate of speed in miles per hour? Okay, so this person went from A to B and then back to A. A and B are 6 miles apart. She definitely went 12 miles. It took her 3 hours. 12 divided by 3, that's 4 miles per hour. It is what it is. Question 9. In quadrilateral A, B, C, D. So we have a quadrilateral, a 4-sided shape, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. AB is parallel to CD. Okay, cool. AD and BC are not parallel. What is the area of the figure to the nearest square centimeter? Definitely the easiest way to solve this problem is just to know how to find the area of a trapezoid. So here we have a trapezoid. Trapezoid has 2 lines that are parallel, and then other 2 sides are not parallel, and is a quadrilateral. So to find the area of a trapezoid, hopefully they give you this equation in the formula sheet, right? Oh, and let's go look at the formula sheet. Hopefully it's there. Yes, it's right here. Well, you have to like recognize it's a trapezoid, but then if you recognize that it's a trapezoid, you could just use the formula that they give you. Obviously, you also have to know how the formula works. So here, base 1, so B1 and B2, they stand for base 1, base 2. That refers to the parallel lines. So here, B1 is 6, B2 is 2. And then the height is the distance between the two parallel line segments, I suppose, parallel sides. So it's going to be 1/2 times 2.5 times 6 plus 2. Well, 6 plus 2 is definitely 8. 1/2 times 8 is 4. 4 times 2.5 is definitely 10. That was a little quick. So again, we have the shape. You kind of need to recognize that it's a trapezoid. This is the trapezoidal shape. The equation for the area of a trapezoid, I just want to make sure they're asking for the area again. What is the area of the figure? Yes. So the area of the figure, you can use the formula 1/2 height times, in parentheses, base 1 plus base 2. So base 1 is 6, base 2 is 2, height is 2.5. We multiply all that together and also multiply it by 1/2. Definitely you can just use the calculator for this one. 1/2 times 2.5, 6 plus 2. All sorts of ways to do this on the calculator, right? Yeah, you can just do like 6 plus 2. And then you can do like that times 2.5. And then you can also do that times 1/2. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, again, if anything doesn't make sense, just stop me, right? Maybe the easiest way to do this problem is to add like terms first. So we have this minus 2xy and plus 4xy. Yeah, 4xy minus 2xy is definitely 2xy. So this simplifies to 2x squared plus 2xy. And then here maybe it's best to work backwards from the answers. And so it's obviously not A or B. Where's the 2? Just disappeared. You can't do that. 2's don't just disappear. And then, yeah, we're definitely looking for the plus one. Like, why is there suddenly a minus sign here? That doesn't make sense. Answer is absolutely D. And then, absolutely, if you like distribute the 2x into the parentheses here, right? You distribute the 2x. 2x times x is definitely 2x squared. 2x times y is definitely 2xy. And then this is definitely the same as this. I just did 4xy minus 2xy. Yeah, I think for a lot of kids, all this seems like nonsense, but I swear it's not nonsense. It's like the opposite of nonsense. It's like the only thing in the universe that's absolutely true. Yeah, I would argue that math is the only thing in the universe that's absolutely true, undebatably true. Yeah, anything else, yeah, true, false, I don't know. It could be, couldn't be. But this is just, yeah, let's get like, oh, it's so random. No, it's actually literally the opposite of random. It's the most precise set of rules that can possibly be conceived. So we have 2x squared minus 2xy plus 4xy. Again, you can't combine x squareds and xy's. You can only combine the xy's and xy's. So 4xy minus 2xy is definitely 2xy. 2x squared stays by itself. And then here you can factor out 2x. So here you have to recognize that, well, definitely both of these numbers have a 2. Both of these numbers also have an x, so we can take those out. And then, so here, hopefully you realize 2x times x is 2x squared. And then y times 2x is 2xy. That's how that works. It's just, yeah, definitely, like, math is one of those things where you just have to, like, do it over and over until you get it. It's like, I don't know, it's like learning to skateboard or learning to play chess, right? Like, just because you, like, somebody tells you how to play chess, it's not like you're suddenly going to become better at chess. That's just not how it works. You have to, like, put in the time and, like, actually do it. Otherwise, you'll never get better. I mean, that's just true even at, like, the highest level, right? Why are, like, so maybe you guys know that, like, computers are the best at chess nowadays. Why is it that the computers are the best at chess? Well, it's because they play against themselves, like, 1 billion times a day. That's why they're so good. All they're doing is playing chess all day by themselves on a computer. Really, at the end of the day, that applies to almost anything. You want to get good at something, you just, like, do it all the time, never stop. You can take a break, I suppose. But always come back to it. Just want to quickly check the answers here. C, B, D, C, negative 76. A and D, 77. C, 10, D. Beautiful. Beautiful. And there's no questions? You definitely get questions like 6, right? Pick the heaviest boxes. Or like 199 kilograms, that's like 440 pounds. It's a lot of pounds. It's a heavy box. It's a heavy box. Maybe I want to have you guys try 11. A scientist measures the outside temperature at noon each day over a 3-day period. Pretty cold. What was the average temperature on these 3 days? Place it on the number line. You go ahead and calculate the average temperature over these 3 days. Hopefully you know how to calculate the average, right? If you don't, ask. The average is super simple. To calculate the average, you add up all the numbers and then you divide by the number of numbers. -1 is correct. So definitely this one is not that bad. You can do it by hand. going to be -3. And then you divide by 3 to get average is -1. Very nice. And hopefully you guys would have no issue placing it on the number line, right? Yeah, just put it right there at -1. Good. I like it. I like it. Definitely -1. Here you add up the numbers, and you divide by the number of numbers. Here we have 3 numbers. This one you just want to straight up use your calculator. Hopefully you can do that. What is 4 to the 7th power? Honestly, I have no idea. It's going to be a very big number. 4 to the 7th. It's gigantic. Number's gigantic. It's gonna be like 15,000 or something. It's like a really big number. Like definitely, if you know how to use the exponent function on your calculator, that's great. If you don't know how to use the exponent function on your calculator, you can always just like do 4 times 4. That's 4 squared. 16 times 4. That's 4 to the 3rd. 64 times 4. That's 4 to the 4th. 256 times 4. That's 4 to the 5th. Times 4 again. That's 4 to the 6th. Times 4 again. 16,960. That was pretty close. I said around 15,000. Definitely you can just do like 7 carat or 4 carat 7. What? Why am I getting a different number? Did I make a typo? Did I make a typo? That's funny. I must have made a typo. Let me try again. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I must have made a typo somewhere. It happens. Good thing I double checked. Actual answer is 16,384. Actual answer 16,384. Are you guys seeing this number on your calculator? Yeah, like definitely the easiest way is just do 4 exponent 7. But you know, if you need to do 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, yeah, feel free to do that, right? I just want you guys to like be able to see this number on the calculator before we move on. Yeah, let me know once you get 16,384. Looks good. What's this? In the computer spreadsheet above, negative A1 minus C2 minus A3 plus C2 times B1 is equal to which of the following? Okay. So we have negative bracket A1. A1's negative 2. Minus parentheses C2. C2 is 3, right? We have C2. Minus A3. A3 is over here, right? Column A, row 3. Minus 5. Plus C2 again. That's 3 times B1. That's negative 4. Can you guys do this one? Like, yeah, feel free to use your calculator. Feel free to do it by hand. Again, it's not left to right. It's the order of operations. Parentheses first. There's no exponents here, but then after parentheses, you do multiplication first, and then you do the addition and subtraction. What are you guys getting here? Yeah, so again, you want to start with the parentheses first. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. And then here, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 times negative 4 next. So that's negative 12. So here we have negative 2 minus negative 2. Minus minus is plus. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So we have negative negative 12. Negative negative 12 is positive 12. Do I make sense? Does this make sense? Can you do this? Yeah, negative 2 minus negative 2. Like, hopefully you know that, like, any number minus itself is 0. Also, minus negative 2 is the same as plus 2. Negative 2 plus 2 is definitely 0. And minus minus is the same as plus. Pretty important one to know. Minus minus is the same as plus. Okay, so again, we have the spreadsheet. They give you this equation, and you have to find the correct numbers. A1 is negative 2. C2 is 3. A3 is 5. C2 is 3 again. B1 is negative 4. Plug it in. Do the math. follow the order of operations. You have PEMDAS, parentheses first. There's no exponents, so now we do multiplication, and then now we just add it up. You definitely need to know that -2 minus -2 is 0. Negative 12 is positive 12. Simplify the expression. Okay. This one, definitely need to be a little bit careful here. You have to remember that when you have a minus sign in front of a parentheses, it means subtract all that stuff inside of the parentheses, right? So the first part is fine. First part's fine. 6 to the fourth plus 7x plus 5x to the third. And then now we have minus 4x to the fourth plus 2x to the third minus 3x. Okay, so here, yeah, positive 4x to the fourth becomes negative 4x to the fourth, and negative 2x to the third becomes positive 2x to the third. Positive 3x turns into negative 3x. Okay, so here hopefully you can see the like terms, right? Let's go ahead and start with 6x to the fourth plus 6x to the fourth minus 4x to the fourth. What is 6x to the fourth minus 4x to the fourth? Well, there's only two options. Is it 10x to the fourth, or is it 2x to the fourth? Absolutely, it's 2. Yeah. Okay. Let's do the x's next. So we have 7x minus 3x. What is 7x minus 3x? It's definitely 4x. Answer is B. Yeah. And then we also have the 5x to the third plus 2x to the third, which is 7x to the third. Yep. Yeah, the order is a little mixed up, right? Yeah, so here we have x to the fourth, x, and then x to the third. And then over here we have x to the fourth, x to the third, and x. Just don't mix it up. Just, yeah, do it. Really, like what math comes down to is like, don't mess up, do it correctly. I know it's hard. I know it's hard not to mess up. And it's like, math is like supremely unforgiving, which is like the sad part. Like, as soon as you make a mistake in math, it's like hopeless. It's over. Just got to get everything right all the time. Don't mess up. Okay. Perimeter of the trapezoid is 50. What is the area? Okay. So let's start by finding this length over here. Do you think you guys can do that? So they told us that the perimeter is 50. Perimeter is the length all the way around a shape. So if the length all the way around the shape is 50, what is the length of this final side? Very nice. Yeah, so you do 50 minus 10 minus 13 minus 15 to get 12. Do you remember the area of a trapezoid? So here's the question. Which one is the height? What is the height of the trapezoid? 12. Very nice. And then hopefully you also understand that B1 is 10, B2 is 15. Hopefully you can plug the numbers into the formula. Let me know what you get. Yeah, again, yeah, you want one of these 4 numbers, right? Good. Good. Yeah, 11 is -1. 12 is 16, 3, 8, 4. 13 is C. 14 is B. 15 is D. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Love to see it. 16 looks interesting. Visa wants to order business cards. A printing company determines that cost C to the customer using the following equation, where B is the number of boxes of cards and N is the number of ink colors. If Visa orders 4 boxes of cards printed in 3 colors, how much will the cards cost? Okay. Okay. So we have B and N, and we have numbers 4 and 3, right? Which one's which? So we have 4 boxes. Is 4 boxes B or N? B. Okay, well then 3 must be N, right? Very nice. So C is equal to 25.6 times 4 plus 14 times 4 times 3 minus 1. Hopefully you can do the calculation here. What is the answer? Good. Answer A. Nice work. $25.6 times 4 plus 14 times 4 times 2. Hopefully you know that 3 minus 1 is 2. Absolutely, answer is 214.4. Nice. Very nice. We have this graph. Y equals -3/4 x plus 1. Here it is. Okay, which one of these other points also falls on this graph? We have 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. All right, so hopefully everyone knows that the first number is the x coordinate, second number is the y coordinate. Yeah, so here, this one's A, 3, 1. This one's not on the line. Hopefully you can see that. It's definitely not on the line. We have 8, negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So this is C, this is B. And then we have D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is D. Do you guys see the correct answer? Which one of these points are on this line? We have 4 choices. Yeah, absolutely correct answer is B, right? It's this one. Yeah, line goes on forever. Definitely hits B. Like, definitely we're not hitting these ones over here. These are like in the middle of nowhere. Good. Definitely you can check it by plugging it into the equation as well. So answer is 8, negative 5. Eight divided by 4 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Equals negative 5. Good. Oh, one more time. Yeah, 8 divided by 4 is 2. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. And then we have the negative sign to get negative 6. Negative 6 plus 1 is negative 5. Which is exactly what we're looking for. That's answer B. 8, negative 5. Question 18. Which of the following equations correctly describes the line on the graph? So hopefully you guys are familiar with slope-intercept form. Do you see where the intercept is on this graph? Like, what is the y-intercept of this graph? 3. Yeah, it's definitely 3. It's right here. The line hits the y-axis at 3. So definitely the answer is not A or C, because we want the plus 3, right? So the question becomes, is the slope of this line 2, or is the slope of this line 1/2? Maybe you can just see the correct answer. Yeah, again, slope is rise over run. Like another thing that you can do is like just check another point. Yeah, so hopefully you can tell here that we have this point at negative 6, 0. So I don't know. Take a guess. Do you think it's B or D? Yeah. Okay, your guess is D. Okay, let's check. So we have y equals negative 1/2 times negative 6 plus 3. So negative 6 times 1/2, that's negative 3, plus 3, that's 0. Amazing. Looks good. Definitely, yeah, the slope is definitely 1/2. Yeah, so you go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. That's 1/2. Yeah, up 2 over 1 would be a slope of 2. Yeah, a slope of 2 is quite a bit steeper. Yeah, definitely like whole number slopes are very steep. Yeah, even 2 is quite steep, but like 3 is even steeper. Like 3 is already like super duper steep. Yeah, a slope of 3 looks like this. Yeah, already quite steep. Anything greater than 3, like the slope becomes like crazy. Yeah, like a slope of 5, like lots of kids will pick like, oh, 5. The slope is 5. Like a slope of 5 is actually ridiculously steep. A slope of 5 looks like this. Yeah, definitely. When the line is relatively shallow, it means that the slope is a fraction. Yeah, like this is a relatively shallow line. Yeah, slope of 1 is the 45 degree. Yeah, slope of 1 is just straight diagonal. Yeah, so slope that's steeper than this is going to be a big number, like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever. But anything less, like shallower than that, this is going to be a fraction. Yeah, definitely you can have negative slopes as well. Y-intercept's definitely 3. Yeah, when x is 0, y is 3. It hits the y-axis at 3. It has a pretty shallow slope. Definitely the slope is positive. It goes up and to the right, up and to the right. Oh, question 19. What is the 6th term in the sequence below? I don't know, man. It's probably B. So I'm thinking it's just like 3 plus 4 equals 7, plus 8 equals 15, plus 16 equals 31. So we're looking for 31 plus 32, which is 63. And then 63 plus 64 is 127, which makes sense. I think that's the pattern that they want. Yeah, so definitely 3 plus 4 is 7, 7 plus 8 is 15, 15 plus 16 is 31. So here, the number that we're adding doubles each time. 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. I think that's it. I wouldn't think about it too deeply. I'm actually not a huge fan of these types of problems because definitely you can like create like all sorts of crazy patterns. Like, I'm sure that there's like an infinite number of patterns that fits this, like an infinite number of equations that fits this pattern. Honestly, this number here could be anything. You just need to like create some really crazy formula to match whatever you need. But I think, yeah, the GED is not going to be super complicated. Yeah, they're just looking for plus 4, plus 8, plus 16, plus 32, plus 64. Pretty simple pattern. Does that make sense? This one's kind of a weird one. Here they just kind of want you to find a pattern. And here, like the first pattern that I see is yeah, plus 2, plus 4, plus 8, plus 16, plus 32. Just making sure. Good. Question 20. Evening tickets to a play are $24.50 each. Tickets for the afternoon show are $19 each. Janice wants to buy 6 tickets. Arrange terms from the options below to construct the expression Janice would use to determine how much less she would spend if she chooses an afternoon show instead of an evening show. You do not need to use all the terms offered as options. Use any term only once. What? I mean, like, what I would do is just do like 2450 minus 19, you have to get 550, and then I would multiply that by 6, right? So like, you save $5.50 per ticket. Well, if you buy 6 tickets, well, it's just gonna be this times 6. That's what I would do. So I guess they want like parentheses 24.50 minus 19 times 6. I'm out of spaces. There's no multiplication sign. Okay. So I guess, yeah, you just put a 6 at the end or at the front. I guess it would be more normal to put the 6 at the front. Yeah, so this is kind of like a neat trick, right? Yeah, so like, definitely they want you to recognize that like 6 times 5, everyone knows this one, right? 6 times 5. Well, definitely like, in high school level math, you also have to recognize that 6 parentheses 5 is the same as 6 times 5. They want you to recognize that here. So definitely, I think they probably want this. They want 6 parentheses 24.50 minus 19 close parentheses. Yeah, so you start with the parentheses. So you find the difference in price of a ticket between evening versus afternoon. And then you multiply that by 6 because you're going to buy 6 tickets. I don't know. It's not that complicated. It's kind of weird. Yeah, the setup of the question is very strange. And definitely it's odd that they don't have a multiplication sign. Yeah, you just have to know that parentheses, like nothing in math, yeah, empty, number times number parenthesis number. That's just multiplication. Yeah, the multiplication is like the default operator, mathematical operator. Sixteen's A, 17's B, 18's D, 19 is B, 20 is 6 parentheses, 2450 minus 19 close parentheses. Good. Good. Man, doing this much math back to back is super grueling. Definitely like it's like also extra stressful for me because I know that like kids really hate math. So I'm like, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like I wish, like I get like stressed out because I know that kids hate math, and then like so I spend 2 hours being stressed out in front of the camera, which also stresses out the kids, and then everyone's just stressed out. Math is just a stressful time. I mean, maybe there's just no way around that. It's just math. I like, when's the last time you've done math and you're like, wow, that was a really refreshing experience? That doesn't really happen. And it definitely, it's like very mentally taxing for sure. Like definitely like chess is super mentally taxing. What else is super mentally taxing? Being observed. I would say that's the worst. Being observed. I hate that. That's why I like really super appreciate it when you guys interact in the chat. Because like otherwise I just feel like I'm just being watched. And being watched is like so stressful. 21. Let's try this one. Let's see if you guys can do this one. Yeah, so definitely the questions are getting harder. Definitely you guys have been keeping up nicely so far. We have question 21. In a certain state, the legislature has 100 seats. In 2010, Party X held 54 seats. In the 2012 election, the party gained 2 seats. If, in the 2014 election, Party X loses 6 seats but gains 2 seats in the 2016 election, what will be the absolute change of the number of seats held by Party X from 2010 to 2016? Feel free to read that as many times as you need, right? I'm doing great, thank you. I appreciate that. Actually, I need to grab some water while you guys do this one. Yeah, I'll let you guys do this one. Yeah, once you like understand the problem, it's not that crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the answer is -2 actually. Yeah, like so you gained 2, you lost 6, and then you gained another 2. So you gained 2, or you lost 2. You lost 2. Sorry, you lost 2. What? No, you had it right. 2. Absolute change means positive? I didn't know that. Nice one. You would have gotten this one, not me. That's crazy. Absolute change? I've never heard of that phrase before. Why is it not negative? That's so frustrating. Yeah, definitely. They're using like some non-traditional math terms. Right? ChatGPT agrees with me. Unfortunate. Kaplan, get out of here. Stop it. Stop it. Very rude. Very rude. Very rude indeed. Dislike very much. But yeah, that's lucky. You would have gotten it correct. I would have 100% written down -2 and gotten it wrong. Okay. Do you guys know the surface area of a cylinder? Surface area of a cylinder is 2 times pi r squared plus 2 times 2 pi r h. So I guess you could write it as 2 pi r squared plus 4 pi r h. I wonder how the formula sheet writes it down. Definitely, if you forget, it's in the formula sheet. Oh, I got it wrong. Shoot. It's just 2. Yeah, why did I multiply that by 2? I don't know. Definitely you need 2 pi r squared because there's a circle on top and a circle on the bottom. And then you multiply the circumference by the height to get 2 pi r h. 2 pi r h. Let's see if you guys can do that. 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. If you guys don't know, r is the radius, and then h is the height of the cylinder. Definitely you should know that. Definitely, you need to know that for the test. So this one's R, this one's H. So the equation becomes 2 pi 2 squared plus 2 pi 2 times 5. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 times 5 is 20. 8 pi plus 20 pi is 28 pi for B. How many questions do we have left? A lot. Not that many. 46. Done. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll work up until question 30 together, right? And then I'm just gonna fly through the last 16 because definitely that would actually be fun for me, just to see how quickly I can finish the test. Definitely trying to explain everything as I go and trying to gauge whether or not you guys are getting it. That's actually the hard part for me. The math is not hard, but the teaching part is the hard part. But definitely it's just fun to watch people that are good at stuff, for sure. I love that. I love watching people that are good at things. And definitely one of the things I'm good at is math. They want us to simplify this? Okay. So again, you need to be able to factor stuff. Definitely the first thing that you can do is factor out a 2 on both the top and the bottom. Twos will cancel. And then I can kind of cheat here a little bit because I see the answer choices right, and there's nothing on the bottom. So I know that x minus 6 must be a factor of x squared plus x squared minus 3x minus 18. Well, that means that this has to be plus 3 because negative 6 plus 3 is negative 18. And then this makes sense. Negative 6x plus 3x is negative 3x. That's factoring. How do you factor? It's just guess and check. It definitely it's not a super easy skill to learn, but yeah. So hopefully you can see that everything is divisible by 2, so that we can definitely take out a 2 on the top and the bottom. So, yeah, 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times negative 3x is negative 6x squared. 2 times negative 18 is negative 36. So, same thing down here. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. And then here, yeah, again, definitely this is one thing I do in high school level problems all the time. Yeah, so definitely if you see a problem like this in a high school level problem, well, I know that the x minus 6 has to cancel, so that means that there's an x minus 6 on top. Well, so that eliminates a lot of the possibilities. And so if one of the terms is x minus 6, I just need to figure out what times negative 6 is equal to negative 18. Well, that's obviously 3. That's kind of how I would handle this problem. Just kind of abuse the fact that this is a multiple choice question for high school students. But definitely you can think about the factors of negative 18. So you have you have 1 and 18, or the negative with the plus minus, right? You can have a negative version or plus version. And then there's also 2 times 9, again plus minus. You have 3 times 6 plus minus. And I guess that's it, right? Is there any other factors of 18? 4, 5, no. So now you just have to think like which combinations of these factors adds up to -3. Yeah, so obviously like 18 minus 1 doesn't work. 2 minus 3 doesn't work. 6 minus 3 is 3. You actually want 3 minus 6. 3 minus 6 to get -3. Yeah, so that's why I have x minus 6 times x plus 3. Yeah, so here, yeah, so definitely x times x is x squared. -6 times 3 is -18. And then you have -6x plus 3x to get -3x. It's just literally guess and check. It's just, yeah, definitely, it's annoying because I'm like so quick at it, right? Like it doesn't look like that's what I'm doing, but that's actually what I'm doing. I'm just doing it really, really fast because I've done this literally like 4,000 times. Yeah, I promise. Like if you also practice factoring 4,000 times, you will also be very, very fast. That's just really what it comes down to. Yeah, so here you have to recognize that you can factor out of 2 on both the top and the bottom. 2's cancel. Here you need to factor x squared minus 3x minus 18. Well, that factors into x minus 6, x plus 3. X minus 6 is canceled. You're just left with x plus 3. Like a really easy way to handle this problem, actually. Like, so if you can obviously, if you're like good at factoring and you can cancel stuff, just do that. Just do the algebra. But one really, really easy way to handle these types of problems is just to like plug in 0 and see what happens. Sometimes 0 doesn't work because you get like a divide by 0 situation, and definitely you want to avoid divide by 0. In that scenario, you can try plugging in 1 or 2. But this one, 0 is fine. Let's say, what if, so here's the thing, right? So if this is the same as this, I'm telling you that this is the same as this. Well, if this is the same as this, what does that mean? Well, that means no matter what number I choose for x, I should get the same answer whether or not I use this one or I use this one, right? And so very simply, if I just, let's say, yeah, let me repeat that, right? So no matter what x is equal to, so I'm telling you right now, this is literally exactly the same as this. Well, if that is true, that must mean that no matter what x is, yeah, x can be any number, the answer to both should be the same, right? Yeah, so very simply, let's just try 0. So if x is 0, hopefully this is very, very easy. 0, 0 minus 36, well, that's minus 36. 0 minus 12, well, that's obviously minus 12. 0 minus 12 is negative 12, yeah, right? So negative 36 divided by negative 12, that's literally 3. So like if x is 0 here, we get 3, right? That's perfect. That's what we're looking for. So if you plug in 0 here, we get negative 6. That's wrong, right? Like we're not looking for negative 6. We're looking for 3. Yeah, if we plug in 0 here, we get negative 3. Nice try. Negative 3 is not 3. They're different numbers. And this one we get 18. Also wrong. Yeah, this is like a very, very powerful strategy in standardized multiple choice tests. You know, when they ask you like, which one of these 4 answer choices is the same as this? Well, just plug in 0 and see what happens. You better get the same answer for both, right? If they are the same. Like if they're the same, well, they should give me the same number. Well, and you know, you can try 1 as well. Yeah, so like that one, 0 is a little weird. 0 is definitely a weird number. Let's try 1. If we plug in 1, we get 2 minus 6 minus 36 over 2 minus 12. So that's equal to verb. Equals 4, right? So here 1 plus 3 is also 4. Great. And I promise you, except for 6, 6 actually gives you problems because yeah, if you plug in 6, you get 12 minus 12, which is 0, and you get a divide by 0 situation. It's whatever. But as long as you plug in any number for x other than 6, I guarantee you this is exactly the same as x plus 3. It's just true. And definitely we proved it algebraically like 2 minutes ago. But yeah, definitely, if you run into these types of problems and you don't know how to do the algebra, right? You're like not so hot at factoring, just plug in 0. If 0 doesn't work, plug in 1. If 1 doesn't work, plug in 2. Not a bad strategy. Or you can just guess, whatever you want to do. I mean, you should probably, I don't know, like just guessing is not the worst strategy, but like obviously there are better strategies than just guessing. 24. Customers of Paul's Beauty Supply can make purchases online from a catalog or in a store. Okay. These are monthly total sales, online sales, catalog sales, in-store sales. People are buying stuff off of the catalog. Why does this question feel like it's from 1980? Who's buying stuff from catalogs? That's ridiculous. Like, I feel like if I went to a store and I'm like, can I get your catalog? They would just be like, what in the world? They're just like, just go on the website. It's fine. They got a catalog. About how much more did the company make from the catalog sales than from online sales? Okay. Well, according to the chart, catalog sales was like 130,000, and then online sales were like, I don't know, 65,000, something like that. So it's gonna be like 65,000, somewhere around 65,000. Could be correct answer. Yeah, so again, they ask us how much more money did they make from catalog sales than online sales in March. Thankfully, this chart is about March. Otherwise, this question would be impossible. So this looks like 130 to me, about 130. This looks like 65. So I just did 130 minus 65. 130 minus 65 is literally 65. And it's in thousands. That's a lot of money. Okay, so Paul's Beauty Supply is pulling like $300,000 a month. Paul's rich, bro. $300,000 a month. That's crazy. $25. I wish, right? I wish. 300,000. Unreal. Which of the following is a graph of this inequality? -2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 4. It's definitely D. So x is in between -2 and 4. It can be equal to -2, but it can't be equal to 4. It has to be less than 4. So 4 is going to be open bubble. Yeah, open bubble is for less than, greater than. Dark bubble is for less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. And hopefully you can tell x is in between -2 and 4, right? It's not like x is less than -2 or x is greater than 4. It's definitely in between. We want the in between. Yeah, definitely one of them needs to be open bubble because we have less than 4. X can't be 4, but x can be like 9.99. That's fine. Can you guys do 26? This one's just like classic high school algebra problem. Like maybe you can just do the systems of equations, right? Set the equations equal to each other, solve for x. Once you solve for x, you plug it back in to solve for y. Definitely that works. But in a multiple choice test, another thing that you can do is just plug in these numbers into the equations, see if they work. They need to work for both, right? You know, like what do I mean? So answer A is -4, -5, right? Let's just see if that's true. So they're saying y is -5. They're saying x is -4. 2 times -4 plus 3. So we have -4 equals -8 plus 3, which is -5 equals -5. Okay. So A works for this equation. So if A also works for the second equation, that definitely means that A is the correct answer. You just have to check. Yeah, go ahead and give this one a try. -9. It's not even one of the answer choices. So answer is definitely A. Yeah, so let me show you one more time how I can prove that, right? Yeah, so definitely you can, one of the best parts about multiple choice questions is that you can work backwards from the answers. Yeah, so here, the answer to the system of equations, so when you have two lines, where do they cross? Well, if you have a point that fits both lines, hopefully you realize, like, that means they cross there. So I just checked the first one for you, right? Yeah, so here, if x is -4, so y equals 2 times -4 plus 3, so y equals -8 plus 3, which equals -5, well, that works. So yeah, -4, -5 is a point on this line here, y equals 2x plus 3. And let's make sure that this point also fits into the second line. Yeah, so that's kind of the question, right? Yeah, we want to see where the lines intersect. So let's plug in -4 here. Y equals -1/2 times -4 minus 7. So -1/2 times -4, that's 2. That's positive 2. -4 times -1/2, that's positive 2. Minus 7 is equal to -5. Yeah, so here, A is definitely the correct answer. So A fits into this first equation and also into the second equation. That's the kind of enough to say for sure that that is the solution to the system of equations. So the traditional way that they teach you how to solve this problem in school is to set the equations equal to each other. So if you have y equals 2x plus 3 and y equals -1/2 x minus 7, go ahead and set them equal to each other. 2x plus 3 equals -1/2 x minus 7. So here you need to combine like terms. Yeah, so here I'm going to add 1/2 x to both sides, and then I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. To get 2.5x equals -10. Right? -7 minus 3 is -10. 2 plus 1/2 is 2.5 or 2.5. And then here you can divide both sides by 2.5. And then x is equal to -4. Actually, that's enough to pick A already, because the only answer choice out of the 4 that has -4 for x is -4. And then, and at this point you would plug it back in to get y equals what? 2 times -4 plus 3. We already did that. We did this multiple times already. Plus 3 equals -5. Yeah, check. Check. That was too fast. Definitely -10 divided by 2.5 is -4. That's just true. Yeah. So maybe you remember this from school, right? If you don't, it's fine. If you have two equations and you want to figure out where do they intersect, what's the solution to the system of equations, you set the equations equal to each other. You solve for x. Once you have x, you can solve for y. You definitely, again, another really, really powerful strategy. Like if your algebra is not super good, right? Yeah, like a really powerful strategy in a multiple choice question is just plug the numbers into the equation, make sure they work. Not a bad way to solve the problems. Okay. So here we have question 27. A pole is supported by a cable as shown. The cable is attached to the ground 9 feet from the base of the pole and is attached to the pole 12 feet above the ground. Which of the following expressions can be used to find the length of the cable? Yeah, so here hopefully you can see very clearly this is a right triangle. Right triangle, we have 12, 9. This is the hypotenuse. This is the Pythagorean theorem. Yeah, so here, right, like, let's call this C so that it looks more familiar. So C squared is equal to 12 squared plus 9 squared. Now you can solve for C. It's going to be 15. So they want which one of the following expressions could be used to find the length of the cable? So C is going to be equal to answer choice C here, square root of 9 squared plus 12 squared. And so here, so C squared is equal to 12 squared plus 9 squared, or 9 squared plus 12 squared. 9 squared plus 12 squared is the same as 12 squared plus 9 squared. But to calculate C, which is the length of the cable, well, you have to take this. You have to take the square root of both sides. So these cancel to get 9 squared plus 12 squared, and that's actually equal to 15. So like this is like another really great way to handle these problems. Just type them in. What do I mean? So here, if you do this, you get 15, right? And just just eyeball it. So this is 12. This is 9. So like this is gonna be like, I don't know, like somewhere between 12 and 50, right? Like I'm being like very generous here. Like I can kind of tell it's going to be around 15, but like maybe at the very least you can like just use your fingers. Like, I don't know, like let me show you what I mean, right? So you can be like, so if this is 12, you literally put your fingers on here, right? You rotate your fingers around. So this is 12, right? So here to here is 12. So like this is going to be like somewhere between 12 and 20, like, right? Like hopefully you can see that. The answer is somewhere between 12 and 20. The answer is actually 15. I just showed you why, right? But actually, like, if you can kind of tell that, like, the hypotenuse is longer than 12, but, like, not that much longer than 12, right? Yeah, like, not quite 20. Definitely not 30. It's definitely not 30, right? So definitely you can tell, like, it's somewhere between 12 and 30 at the very least. So here you can type these into the calculator. Like definitely, like when I work with kids on the SAT, these are the kind of strategies that I give them. So like you have to realize that the answer is not A. It's not 225. Yeah, like it's definitely less than 30. It's not going to be like, yeah, if this is 12 and this is 9, this is not going to be 200. That's ridiculous. 12 squared minus 9 squared. What's this? This is 63. Yeah, again, 63 is still too long, And then, so answer is C, that's 15. That's right here. Let's try the last one, right? So square root of 12 squared minus 9 squared. Like, it's definitely more than 7. You have to recognize that, like, this is longer than 7. It's actually longer. Like, it has to be longer than 12, Like, hopefully, like, at the very least, that has to make sense. Like, this one's not that bad, right? So this one, like, hopefully you just know how to do the Pythagorean theorem. But like, just know that like, even if you don't know how to do the Pythagorean theorem, you can just use some basic common sense. Like this is like somewhere around 15. It's actually exactly 15, but maybe you can tell it's going to be somewhere around 15. Like the only one of these answer choices that's even remotely close to the correct answer is C. All these other ones are like ridiculous. Like it's not 200. It's not 63. It's not 8. Meg is an interior designer. Meg is looking for looking to place 2 chairs against an accent wall. She has 4 different chairs from which to choose, each a different color: yellow, red, green, blue. How many different combinations of chairs can Meg use in her design? Answer's 12. So the answer is 4 times 3. Like this is like standard like probability and statistics. The way that you can think about it is we're gonna pick 2 chairs. So you can pick. So you have 4 choices for the first chair. And then once you pick one, now you only have 3 chairs left over to pick from. Like you can't choose red and red because you only have 1 red chair. So that's why it would be 4 times 3. Like definitely, like I can like prove it to you visually, but you just want to know that if you have 4 options and you're gonna pick 2 of them, the total combinations that you have is 4 times 3 for 12. So if I had 5 different colors of chairs, well then it would be 5 times 4, because for the first chair I have 5 options, for the second chair I have 4 options, because I picked 1 for the first option, so now I only have 4 chairs left. But you can pick like, so you pick yellow, and then you can pick either red, green, or blue, and then you can pick red, and then you can pick like green or blue, and then you pick green, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe the answer is just 6 actually. Huh. So the answer is 12 if the order of the chairs matter. That's now I'm curious. Is the answer actually 12 or is it actually 6? Is there a difference if I pick like yellow then red versus then yellow? How many different combinations of chairs? I feel like this implies 6, not 12. Yeah, at this point, like the issue is not the math. The issue is like this is like a failure in communication from Kaplan. We'll check in a second. This one was 27. 27 is C. I must have missed a question. 25 was A. No, 26 is A. 26 is A. Okay. Let's check these really quick. Two B, C, B, D. And then we have 26 is A, C6. This question is simply asking for the number of possible combinations of 2 differently colored chairs, so the order of the chairs does not matter. To determine the number of different pairs of chairs that could be selected for the design, draw a table. Okay, so they just drew a table. Yeah, so I guess like for this type of problem, you could just like write down all the different possibilities, which is like not crazy because there's only 4 different colors. I guess you could just think about it. So you could pick like, you pick yellow and red, or you could pick yellow and green, or you could pick yellow and blue. Well, then you could also pick red and green. You could also pick red and blue. You could also pick blue and green, right? So these would be the 6 different combinations. Yeah, and definitely you don't want to count red, yellow. Red, yellow is the same as yellow, red. You could do it this way. Maybe that's the better way. Like there is a formula for this one. I forget the color. I forget the formula. It's like, I think it's like n over like n minus 1, something like that. I don't remember. It's something weird. Yeah, maybe it's just so it's n over n minus 2 divided by 2. It must be something like this. I think at this point you just want to like, like if the probability is like not that complicated, you probably just want to like think about it. Yeah, so you can have red, yellow, you could have yellow, green, you could have yellow, blue, you can also have red, green, you can also have red, blue, you can also have green and blue. That's 6. Okay. We have like 10 minutes. I bet I could finish the test. Let's just see if I can finish the test. That would actually be fun for me. Starting from 29. At this pace, I might miss some questions. I think there's like 44. That's a lot of questions to finish in 10 minutes. Okay. I'm just going to try to fly through these. 29. Women's are trying to pay off their credit card debt so that they develop the following budget. Okay, here's the budget. If the women's monthly take-home pay is $2,500, how much do they plan to pay each month for their credit card debt? Credit card debt is 24%. Okay, so you do 2,000. I'll show you guys. 2,500 times 24%, which you can think about as 24 divided by 100. 60. 60? No, that's too many zeros. 600. Okay, 600 for A. Not S, A. Okay. 30. A market sells all varieties of pasta at a rate of 4 boxes for $5. Jennifer needs 3 boxes of ziti and 3 boxes of spaghetti. At this rate, how much will she spend on pasta? So you can buy 4 boxes for $5. Okay, well then, that's $125 per box. You multiply that by 6. Answer 7.5. That's a lot of pasta for $7.50. Igne has been receiving a variety of advertisements in the mail. In order to figure out if the number of advertisements was increasing over time, she kept track of how many advertisements she received each week over an 8-week period. Here's her record. 3465 4472. The dot plot below shows the table based on the Igne created. However, it is incomplete. Place the additional dots on the dot plot until it accurately reflects Igne's record. Well, there's one at 7. Ugh, God, this one's impossible to write down in here. But so hopefully you can imagine, like, there's a dot here at 7. And so we have 1, 2, 3 4s. So there's two more dots at 4, and then there's only 1 5. There's only 1 6. There's another one at 2. Okay, so we have 2 7 4 4 4 3 4s 1 6 1 5 1 3. Great. Yeah, that's all of it. It looks like this. Okay. So I'm just gonna write down I'll write down this. So it's like, there's a dot at 2, there's a dot at 4, there's a second dot at 4, there's a dot at 7. Yeah, those are the dots that I added to the chart. 32. If the area of a circle is 36 pi, what is the diameter? So if the area is 36 pi, yeah, hopefully you guys remember area is pi r squared. So if that equals 36, well, that means r is equal to 6. Square root of 36 is 6. Diameter is going to be 2 times the radius for 12. C. 33. 2011, Karen's base salary was $52,500. She earned an end-of-year bonus of $6,250. In 2012, her base salary was raised to $56,300. At the end of the year, her bonus was $4,100. Was the percent increase in the decrease over overall earnings? Okay, well, that's very simple. So you do 52,500 plus her bonus 6,250, and then the following year she made 56,300 plus 4,100 in bonuses. So you do this divided by 58750. So that's an increase of 2.8%. 2.8%. Yeah, so we get 1.028. Yeah, so 0.028 is 2.8%. You just have to know that. Thomas works as a server in a restaurant. On a certain night, the servers at his restaurant earn a 50% bonus each time the dinner special is ordered. In order to qualify for the bonus, the server must submit at least 10 dinner special orders. Complete a linear equation that models the total bonus the server can expect to earn based on the number of dinner specials ordered, where B is the total number of bonus dollars and D is the number of dinner special orders. What? Arrange terms from the options below. Oh, okay. So there's like these terms, but there's no terms, okay, because the Kaplan people just like forgot to put them there. That's super annoying. So it's going to be bonus is equal to 0.5 times dinner specials, and then as long as D is greater than or equal to 10, something like that. What do they want? Complete a linear equation. Oh yeah, this is complete a linear equation. I'm not sure exactly what they're looking for. It's fine. I can miss that one. Not a big deal. Place a dot in the coordinate plane below that represents the solution of the following system of equations. So here we have y equals x plus 4. That looks like this. That looks like this. So it has a y-intercept of 4 and slope of 1. This one, x equals, there's a point at 11, 0. Yeah, so here I plug in 0 for y. 4 times 11 equals 44. And then y is actually going to equal 22. Yeah, let's just do it like this. So it's going to be y equals negative 2x plus 22. Oh, God. This is 10, 22. It's going to be like here. So it's like, like this. Lord. I guess I'll just do the actual problem. Okay, so let's do the substitution. Okay, actually, I have this. So it's going to be x plus 4 equals negative 2x plus 22. 3x equals 18. X equals 6. If x equals 6, y equals 10. Oh, wow, my graph was actually perfect. It's right here. Nice. Lucky. Super lucky. So it's the point is going to be at 6, 10. Okay. 5 minutes left. Oh, I'm not going to finish. That's sad. Bag contains 12 red, 3 blue, 6 green, 4 yellow marbles. If a marble is drawn from the bag at random, what is the probability that the marble will either be blue or yellow? Blue or yellow. That's 7. How many marbles do we have total? Something. 10. 22, 25, 7 out of 25, 7 out of 25, 7 out of 25 is going to be 28% for D. Yeah, so 12, yeah, so 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 12 is 22, 22 plus 3 is 25, and then blue or yellow, well, there's 7 marbles that are blue or yellow, so 7 divided by 25 is 28%. Okay. What is the volume? Okay, well, it's going to be 6.4 squared times pi times 12 divided by 3. This is just the equation for the volume of a cylinder. Definitely, like, they'll give it to you. Just use it. Just plug in the numbers in the correct place, right? So it's like D. Yeah, so pi r squared is the circle, and then you multiply that by the height, but you divide by 3. So actually, like, a cone is like, the volume of a cone is exactly 1/3 the volume of a cylinder, which is, I think that's neat. 38, the 10 artists have entered an art show. There are 3 prizes awarded in the art show: first prize, second prize, and third prize. How many possible ways could these prizes be awarded among 10 artists? Well, it's going to be 10 times 9 times 8. 90 times 8. What is 90 times 8? 720. Yeah. 720. 39. Archie's going to make a huge pot of chili. He cannot eat it all himself, so he's going to share some of with his neighbors and his family. Archie will give 1/4 of his chili to his parents, and will give 1/8 of it to his neighbor Cecilia. When he's going to give another 1/8 of it to his neighbor Chang. How much of the chili will Archie have left over? Well, this one you could just do, like, it's going to be exactly 1/2 actually. 1 minus 1/4 minus 1/8 minus 1/8. How did I know that? Well, 1/8 plus 1/8 is 1/4. Well, 1/4 plus 1/4 is a half. 1 minus a quarter minus the eighth minus the eighth is literally half. That's right here. At the end of the baseball season, 5% of the children enrolled in the local youth baseball program will be chosen to play the state tournament. If 12 children will be chosen to play the tournament, how many of these children are what? 5% of children? 12? Okay, so they're saying 5% of x equals 12. So you do 12 divided by 0.05 to get 240. Well, how did I get that? So they told us that 5%, so let's say x represents the number of children in the program, and then 5% of them, 0.05, if we multiply that by 5%, we're going to get 12, right? Well, then that means x is definitely equal to 12 divided by 0.05, just, basic algebra. It's 240. And obviously you can all work backwards to the answers here, right? Yeah, you can do like 240 times 5 divided by 100. Yeah, always like, yeah, definitely don't be afraid to work backwards from the answers. Like, yeah, so one of the answer choices is 240. Is 5% of 240 12? Well, yes, it is. Yeah. I think we're out of time, unfortunately. I was so close. I was so close. Oh my god. Let's just finish it. I'm just gonna finish it. Fabio has his own computer repair business, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. What's the question? New hard drive operating system for the customers. Okay, so hard drive. He needs to install a new hard drive. That's 45 minutes. Operating system. Hour and 45 minutes. Hour and 45 minutes. So that's 1.75 times 65. That's a good gig. You're gonna charge them $65 an hour. That's pretty good. Answer C. Last one. There's approximately this many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's D. Okay. What is the slope? Up 1 over 2, -2. And then number is 12 more than 3 times another number. The sum of that number is -20. What are the numbers? One number is 12 more than 3 times another number. X plus y is equal to -20. Has to be D. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, definitely I could just do the system of equations, but like I don't have time for that. There's just 2 more questions. I'm just, yeah, at a certain, like if you're running out of time, you just kind of have to guess. And like my gut says D. 3x squared plus 21x minus 54 equals 0. So this is 3x squared plus 7x minus 14, 30, 24 times 17 equals 0. 3 times x. So I need 2 numbers that multiply to 17. That doesn't exist. I did something wrong. What's 54 divided by 3? That's 27. 54 divided by 18. Okay, it's 18. Okay, that's what I'm 18. So it's gonna be this one B. No, it's gonna be D. Sorry, it's gonna be D. 45 is D. Last one. This, okay, so it's gonna, oh god. This one is 11, and then the next one is 50, and the next one is -7, and the next one is was that a division symbol? No, that's a plus symbol, so it's gonna be -8. Okay, let's see how I did. A 750, yeah, 2447, yes. C 2.8%. B equals 0.5 D minus 5. I don't know. I missed that one. I didn't really understand that question. There's something weird going on. And like, yeah, this one was broken, right? they had a bunch of, they didn't give me any boxes or options. So that one was a little hard. So I missed one. Fine, whatever. This one is at 610. Nice. D 720, 1/2. C 240. C D -2. D 1150 -78. Okay, not bad, not bad. I missed, yeah, I'll have, okay, hopefully you guys remember the one that I missed, right? It was kind of obnoxious. So we had 34, like, not bad for doing all that in like 11 minutes. Definitely, like in the real test, you guys would have had like over 30 minutes to do that. Yeah, like we had this problem where they're like, "Oh, arrange the terms from below," and there were no terms. So like, I wasn't really sure what to do here. So unfortunately, I missed that one just because like the question was broken. It's fine. I can deal with that. Yeah, like, so I think I sent you guys the link to this practice. Let me send it to you again, right? I mean, oh god, GED practice. Kaplan, Reddit. Yeah, it's just this page here. I literally just found it on Reddit. But definitely, like, feel free to work through this set again, right? And then even just beyond the practice test that we just did, there's tons of like step-by-step guides for all sorts of different stuff. Not just for the math, but also for all four of the main tests. Yeah, definitely a really great way to practice is to work through the practice tests available on GED.com. And then yeah, definitely if you do well there, yeah, they'll give you a score for your practice test about 24 hours after you're done. And then if you're seeing some good results in the practice test, especially the official practice test, definitely it's a good idea to just immediately take the real test. You definitely like if you guys need any help on anything specific, just let me know, right? I can do that for you. Yeah, definitely today we just worked through a ton of problems, and I don't know if this part at the end was even useful. I just like did a bunch of problems. Like I did my best to like try to explain things as I was going, but definitely I know like, yeah, even in my SAT classes, all my kids are like, "You're going too fast. You need to slow down." It's just, I don't know. It's just, yeah. 2 hours is a long time. I just felt like finishing it. I'm sorry if that wasn't super helpful. I don't know. I think it's just fun to see people do things well, even though I missed one here. But this one was not my fault. The question was broken, right? Hopefully you guys agree with me there. Definitely it's possible to get a perfect score, but not that you even need one in the GED, right? You literally only need like 60% of the questions correct. Yeah, again, like don't feel bad if you have to guess. Definitely learn to work backwards from the answers. Yeah, definitely there's a variety of ways that you can do that, and hopefully some of the stuff that I was showing you is making sense. You keep practicing. Try your best. I appreciate you guys. Have a great evening.